Hello traders, and welcome to Trading the Trend. I am Dennis, and this is my weekend report for week ending April 15th. And right now we are looking at the S&P 500, and as you can see, we had another nice week up. We kind of got this little pattern of up, down, up, so maybe this will be a down week coming up. But it could be an important week as we are getting close to this line here, which was that lower high we made. So if we can get above that, then we'll erase that pattern of lower highs, and maybe we can take a run at the all-time high again, which I believe is at 2134. So we'll be watching that. Let's take a look at some commodities. Those have been the hot item this year. Right here I'm looking at the gold miners index, and as you can see, this is the white line. This is where we started the year at, and we've just been on a tear this year. This white line up here is the high from last year, so we could get above that and get a real good trend reversal going on. If we back up a little bit, you can see how we had a nice bottom put in here, so maybe this is the end of the bear market in metals. We'll have to see. And the next thing I'm going to look at is oil. Oil also looks like it may have finally put in a bottom, although it's not a real strong bottom here. We did finally get a close above the blue line, the 40-week moving average. That's an important area. We actually gapped open above it, traded up, and then pulled back by the end of the week. So we'll have to see. That's almost a pin bar, so we might get a little further pullback early next week before we head higher. But right now I would expect this to move higher if oil is actually going to continue to move upward for us. Now let's look at our currencies and how all this is affecting them. First, we'll take a look at my strong week rankings. And I included where we began the month at just for comparison. And what you can really note here is that the two weakest currencies just continue to be weak. US dollar and British pound remain weak, and those are our plays. If you want to be in anything, you should be shorting both the dollar and the pound. With almost anything, it's going to be a good trade at this point. Now let's take a look at some currency pairs, and I'm going to do it a little differently here. We're going to look at the last at the top strong week trades from the last 7 weeks. Where are those currencies now? And this is the pound yen. It has been our top strong week trade for the last 2 weeks ending. So as you can see, it's been in a strong down move here. We've crossed that 200-week moving average. We tested it, and then it's moving lower. So did have an up week this past week, but I would expect that's just setting up for the next move lower. So I would be staying short this pair right here. Now let's look at the next one, which is the Aussie US dollar, and it was our top strong week trade on April 1st, March 18th, and March 11th. As you can see, it was in this huge downtrend we had, and it may have finally broken that by putting in a nice double bottom, and then we're starting to move upward. We're starting to clear some resistance. This was an important resistance line, this red one. We got our close above it. We need to see price now move away from it. The next area of resistance will be up here above 0.80, and if we can clear that, then we'll take it one step at a time. But I see this thing just continuing to move higher, and of course this has a correlation with the U.S. stocks. So if U.S. stocks can continue to move higher, then we should see this one moving higher. Last one I'm going to look at is the pound Aussie dollar. This was our top strong week trade, March 25th and March 4th, and you can see it's just continuing to make money for us. Just because a pair is no longer this week's top strong week trade doesn't mean it goes away. No, it remains valid, and this one certainly has been in that position where it put in another lower low this past week. Now we're approaching some possible strong support here at 180. You know, our 200-week moving average is just about there. You can see a lot of price activity occurred there before, so we might get down there and see prices stall. If we can get a nice big candle busting through there, then that should clear things for a move even lower. So anyway, that's what I have for you this week, and I will catch everybody on my thread. Thanks.